let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought, a touchdown mind. Out of the box every time. No limits, no chains, no walls to climb. We're rewriting the rules in real time. Out of the box where the wild ones play.
Hey, what is going on? It is Monday night, and it is the Monday Night Football preview. Cowboys, Raiders. My name is Paul Spencer. That guy right there is from the Las Vegas Raiders, the one and only Mr. Ken Fry. And also next to him, my co-host of Cowboys Weekly every Wednesday night, my man, Eddie Prather. Gentlemen, it's Monday Night Football, and this is a blockbuster matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. Are we stoked tonight, honestly? Really, be honest. Are we stoked tonight?
I'll take that. To be 100% honest with you, I'm stoked. Anytime the Raiders can get on TV and try not to embarrass themselves, I'm always stoked for that. And if this isn't the matchup of the century of teams that kind of revert back to their past and say, I remember when, this is like the I remember when bowl, where Cowboys fans, they watch their Super Bowls on VHS tapes. Us Raiders fans, we got to watch our Super Bowls on reel to reel. It is the I remember bowl. And I'm stoked for it because there is a chance the Raiders could win because the Cowboys, they are the better team, but they're not a great team. So they have faults and flaws, and that gives us a chance. The window's open a crack. Eddie, what are your thoughts?
It's the battle of the teams, that the two best uniform teams in the NFL, the Raiders black and silver and the Cowboys with the star.
I get it, Ken. I like how you said that. This is the battle of what could have been back in the day, being two great teams, now being who gets a better lottery pick to coming draft this year. But inactives, Ken, we always look at inactives. On paper, Cowboys are better, of course. I get that, but man, I tell you. You guys have been hit with the injury bug too. Trades, of course. Jacoby's gone for your offense. You bring in Geno Smith. Ken, let's start with Geno Smith real quick. Ken, I don't want to say grade him, but what are your thoughts so far on Geno Smith? I mean, what do you see?
It's been atrocious. It's hurting my eyes. It's been really bad. It almost makes me want Jimmy Garoppolo back, and that was very bad too. It's god awful. And the thing is with Geno, you can if you look back at his stats with Seattle, you could almost see it coming because each year he's kind of regressed with taking care of the ball, and also his touchdown production has gone down year from year. Yards have always kind of been there, but just production wise, you can kind of see it regressing each season after he had that one monster season in Seattle where everybody's like, oh, this is Geno Smith. And, it was the Jets' fault that Geno was so bad. And now he found himself, and Pete Carroll's a genius. And, well, you can kind of see him regressing. Now he's Pete Carroll's boy once again. And it's been so bad. And I think the biggest thing that really pisses Raiders fans off is just Geno throwing the ball into so much traffic and putting the ball in harm's way so much when he can just easily just tuck it and run. There's been so many times where if he just stepped up into the pocket a little bit, where he could have maybe a 2-yard gain or a 3-yard gain or something like that. Nothing big, but could protect the ball and also kind of help his offensive line out a bit where he isn't going to be sacked 10 million times and make them look like crap. Maybe take the run. He looks like shit sliding, so don't let him slide. Run out of bounds, do something, throw the ball out of bounds. But he just continuously, over and over again. And a lot of the balls that he's thrown in the traffic haven't been picked off. So just say he could be up to 20 interceptions right now. He's at 12, but he could be up to 20 if they actually picked off all the balls that he's thrown in harm's way. It's unbelievable. He's a big fat F from me, and I can vouch that for pretty much every Raider fan out there.
You know what, Ken? You hit it on the head. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a Raiders fan. You know, there is more than one of you out there, Ken. You know, I was
We're
talking to him
hiding.
today. He was hiding too. You know, I had to pull him over. Hey, come on over here. Let's talk for a minute. And I said, I was like, you know, he's like Geno Smith, man. What is the problem? I was like, he don't climb the pocket. He's mobile. Climb the pocket. And he was like, well, he's been sacked so many times. I was like, yeah, but they're covered sacks. He takes so long where he makes a bad read with the interceptions. You got to help your O-line out. I mean, you guys are banged up too. You know, get out of the pocket, you know, get outside east, west, or climb the pocket here. But you're right, Ken, when he throws the ball, he possibly could be up in the damn near 30s for picks right now, the way he throws that ball.
Absolutely.
In the double coverage, bad reads. And the thing is, he don't lead wide receivers, Ken. He throws either behind him, low, high, and the opposition is really running the route for him. That's what I see with this guy. But, you know, Eddie, how do you feel? I mean, going to this game here, you know, it's Monday Night Football. It's our team versus, you know, Ken's team, of course, but we're going to keep it biased here. But what does Geno Smith scare you? Because, I mean, hell, if he flashback with Seattle, as Ken said, he could put up 300 tonight, you know?
If I would be shocked if Bland does not have a pick six tonight.
Who? Oh,
Our
Bland.
boy
Okay,
Bland.
Bland. Okay. I thought you said Lamb. I'm like, well, anything's possible with Geno Smith.
Hey, we really seen one of our running backs play some linebacker this year, so
Yeah, you're right.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe Lamb can do better at defensive, can play some defensive back than some of the guys that we have.
That's true. That's true. But, you know,
Yeah.
going down the roster, Ken, I mean, Ashton, you know, your prized possession in a draft. I mean, he's back in his stance like Michael Myers, as they call the Michael Myers stance. His numbers have been going up. But Ken, where do you put this blame? The offensive line a little bit, play calling. I mean, he is light in the pocket in height wise versus NFL statures. But Ken, we've seen what he did in 9 in the box at Boise State. He's undeniable, a power back, a high profile back. What is the issue with Gente here?
It's a shared issue. I think it's play calling, Chip Kelly's play calling, and the offensive line. The way the offensive line's been constructed, the way it's, you know, past shows that I've talked about with Jordan Meredith at center and JPJ, who's out injured. He's on IR, probably missed the rest of the season with an ankle injury. But with him being at guard, and you have Jordan Meredith, who never ever played center as your starting center, is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. That's where we're at this year.
Yes.
I mean, Ashton Genty is near the top of the league for broken tackles.
Mhm.
And the unfortunate part of it is that they're all behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. So he's getting the ball and he's getting hit right away. He's breaking that tackle and he's getting hit again. I mean, that's not on Ashton Genty. I don't care what you say. There is any fan that watches a game, a Raider game, can see that as soon as the man gets the ball, he's being hit. That is not on Ashton Genty. That is 100% not on. That's poor offensive line management, and it's also poor play calling. That's where it's at. When he does get an opportunity, gets it out into the open, you can see what can be. Like last week, he had a 30+ yard run called back because of a holding by Jack Besh, and it's just another young player, another rookie, which is a rookie mistake. The holding was way behind the play, but it still got called. It is what it is. But the explosiveness is there. Just there's no room to do anything, and it goes. There's a lot of shared responsibility with that.
Yeah, I agree, kid. I mean, first, I think it's a Chip Kelly offense. He's a hybrid guy. He likes to get people in space. That's really not Jonte's game, to get him in space. It's, you know, between tackles, off tackle. That's his type play. But you said that perfect thing there. You know, most of the hits, the first contact is behind the line of scrimmage. You know, we always talk about running back getting to the second level. Well, the second level to him is behind, you know, the first step in many ways, behind the offensive line there moving forward. It's just bad because I tell you, it's just like you said, you know, your center there, Jordan Meredith, like, why is he playing center? But is it because no options? I mean, can you put Will Putnam in there? You know, since JP's out?
Putnam could play center 100%, but why change it now? To be 100% honest, like you started Meredith at center since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why switch it now? Even with JPJ being out, Parham's a little bit banged up. Caleb Rogers, the rookie, who I thought was going to get a chance to play this week, he's in an active, a healthy scratch for whatever reason. I don't know what the hell that's all about. Mm-hmm. And you know, why switch it now? Just leave Meredith there. You know, keep going with it. Putting him at guard, or Alex Kappa, because I assume Parham left last week's game against the Broncos Thursday Night Football, which seems like a month ago now, which is a week and a half. Parham went out, JPJ went out. I assume Parham's playing. I couldn't find anything online about Parham not playing tonight. So
Yeah,
I
so
assume
far I
Parham's
do have.
playing.
Yeah, I do have him as active tonight. He's got the little waiver wire coming on. He is active
Yeah.
tonight, left guard. Yeah.
So you still have Parham at guard, and I'm going to assume that they're going to roll with Alex Kappa there at right guard. And God bless you, Geno Smith. Good luck. So I think Alex Kappa is absolutely atrocious. The fact that man's getting played to play professional football is a crime. A crime against humanity, a crime against nature, just a crime somewhere. He should be arrested.
Oh man, wow. Geez, Ken, that's some harsh words for the guy.
So here, let me throw this out to you, Cowboy fans. Your Raiders, or your defense. I'm sorry, your Raiders. Your defense been the biggest bugaboo so far the whole season for you guys. Offensively, outstanding. The last 2 weeks, excuse me. The last 2 weeks, maybe not so much, but that happens. You hit pockets where your offense kind of lags a little bit. You guys are coming off the bye week. You should be all ramped up. But your defense lagging, but you're getting a couple guys back. But also the trade deadline was very kind to you guys, picking up Quinnen Williams from the Jets and also Logan Wilson from the Bengals. Are you guys expecting a totally different defense, like a much better defense tonight, or do you think it's going to be the same old, same old?
Eddie, go ahead.
I think Quinnen's going to definitely help out on the defensive line. Logan Wilson, I'm not sure because Wilson wasn't looking that great with the Cincinnati. Hoping that a change of scenery helps him out. I guess being a defensive player on the Bungles would make you lose your heart and soul too.
The way I see it, I like the moves. Okay, for what they gave up, you got a first-round pick from Green Bay next year, which is going to be late. That's what you gave up to get Quinnen Williams. Of course, I love the move, but the front four is okay with me. The only issue to me is you have Donovan Rakuze. Our first-round pick, second-round pick last year. He can't stop the run. He's a pass rusher. So I like how you went out and got Logan Wilson, but there's an issue to me with Logan Wilson. The issue is, I didn't think they were thinking Overshown would come back this fast, okay? They both play the same position, inside linebacker. That's what scares me the most. They don't play outside. They play the same position here. I'm sorry, wide linebacker, not middle, because Sanborn went down. Shamar James, a rookie, he's been playing lights out. He's going to be playing middle linebacker with Kenneth Murray. But what scares me is that linebacker is going to have to not over pursue on the edge of Rakuze because he's a pass rusher. That's all he is. And Ravel comes back tonight coming off of a huge ACL. He hasn't played all season, barely playing, 7-on-7s in practice. We don't know what he is. Diggs, get rid of him. Ship him out of here. Ken, if I called you and said, hey, Ken, I'm not doing a show tonight because I fell, I tore my hamstring. The writing's on the wall, Ken. You know what I mean? I don't want to be there anymore. And he checked out when Parsons was traded. He did. He checked out. So I don't say it's going to be a fix. I think, honestly, Ken, it's a Band-Aid for the rest of the season to see what we have for the next year. That's what I feel.
That's smart. That's smart to do that with your roster.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually is. See what you have for next year. If you feel like you're not going to the playoffs this year, you feel like you know what, we're on the outside looking in. What do we have? Well, right. like the rest of the season, testing that out.
I mean, the Cowboys made good decisions, but they made bad decisions. I mean, Eddie will attest to this. James Houston should be starting on the opposite edge out there. He's a rookie. Every time he comes in, he makes plays. Eddie, we talked about this. Is the motor not there where he's a 3-down, defensive end? Is that the issue? But when he comes in, he makes plays. To me, you got to let the young guys play. We're letting Shamar James play. We're letting the younger guys play, which I love seeing because I don't think we're going to make the playoffs at 3-5-1, Ken. I don't think we are. But to me, if this defense could just catch fire for 3 or 4 weeks, Ken, we could be, a 9-win team at the end of the season, regardless of who we play getting the wins. But there is still a shot to get in the playoffs at 9 wins, this year. There is no elite teams that stand out, from 3 to 7 right now, Ken. There's not. But right now it's just a building process. But tonight's game, Ken, how do you feel about, losing Jacoby Myers? I mean, Beck's a rookie. Bowers is playing, of course, but Tyler Lockett, old man coming in there. He knows the game. But Trey Tucker, who's your number one? Is it Trey Tucker right now?
It should be Trey Tucker. It should be Trey Tucker. But I'm telling you, with Geno Smith, it's gonna be Tyler Lockett because he has that rapport, that relationship with Tyler Lockett, and so it should be Trey Tucker. It's another again, being a Raider fan, seeing it, the talent that's there with Trey Tucker, and in the preseason, Pete Carroll, we're going to get the ball to Trey Tucker. We see the talent. We see that the opportunity's there, the speed, the burst, the route running. It's all there. It's coming together. We're going to but then they don't get the ball to Trey Tucker. It's like it's idiotic, but he should be your number one. And the thing with the rookies, with Jack Besh and guys like that, what the hell's, I can never remember his freaking name. The other rookie, our other rookie receiver. I can't think of his freaking name right now.
Thornton.
Yeah, Deontay. I don't know why I can't remember that name. I keep wanting to throw an O in there, and I know there's no O. I'm like, I want to say Thornton, but or something. But anyway, Deontay Thornton. The problem with these guys, they're so far behind where they should be developmentally. Yeah. They're in their first season because they weren't being played early on. They made huge mistakes last week against the Broncos, where the Raiders could have easily won that game by multiple touchdowns. If you watch that game, the Raiders on that field were the better team. They just, special teams wise, shooting themselves in the foot, blocked field goal, or blocked punt, missed field goal, missed extra point, stuff like that. Or not missed extra point. That was a week before. Every week it's the same damn thing. But anyway, the holding call against Besh, Deontay Thornton Jr. Drop pass. He also had a penalty for I think it was a pick. A pick play, which had I think it was a touchdown called back. I mean, like mistakes like that are stuff that should be happening in the beginning of the season with your rookie receivers, not in the middle to the end of the season. But since they didn't play that much, here we are. Now we're dealing with these mistakes, halfway through the season where they should be progressing, but now they're just starting. It's extremely frustrating. But it should be Trey Tucker, and it should be Jack Besh, it should be Thornton, and Tyler Lockett should be somewhere near the bottom of it. But Jacoby Myers. I wish him well. He came there. He showed up to work, even though he wanted to be traded. I wish him well, and it is what it is. They weren't even getting the ball anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. It's not like you were losing his productivity while Bowers was out. They weren't throwing to anybody. Geno Smith was throwing for like 5 yards a game, I think. So he had more interceptions per game than he did passing yards.
Yeah, you're right. And I think I completely agree with you. You can practice all you want, 7-on-7s, 11-on-11s in practice formation against your own team, but that's not live action, Ken. I'm a firm believer when I coach, if we're up a certain amount of points that my B team is coming in, I want to see what these kids can do to put them in a situation. I'm going to feed them the ball. So when the game time comes and their opportunity arises, they know what to do. They're ready for the game, 100%. But, going to this game here, Ken, my question to you, I don't watch the Raiders a lot, Ken, because number one, they're never on TV, But my thing is this: do they run 12 personnel a lot, Ken? 2 tight ends, because tonight I think they're going to need it with this offensive line going against Cowboys. Front four with Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, and the edge rushers they have. Do they run a lot of 12 personnel with Bowers and Mayer?
They're starting to. Since Bowers came back, they've been starting to run a little bit more 12, some 13 personnel.
Wow.
But they've been running it more often.
Okay.
And at the beginning of the season, they said they were going to run it, and they weren't running it. And then Bowers goes down, and they ran it a little bit with Mayer and some of the backup tight ends whose names I can't think of right now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But they're starting to do it more often, and which is good to see. You see Michael Mayer getting the ball a little bit more, which is good. I want to see Mayer getting the ball a little bit more. But when against the Broncos, you have 3 targets to Brock Bowers, who the previous week just ripped apart the Jaguars, but then you go back at 3 targets and 0 targets in the second half against the Broncos. It's like, what are we doing? Brock Bowers isn't your typical blocking tight end. He can block. He's not a terrible blocker, but he's on the field to go out there and catch passes. It's just one of those things. It's very frustrating.
Well, okay, you
Raiders.
You got some support out there, okay? You got some support for your Raiders.
That's because he hates the Cowboys.
I know.
I'll take the support anyway.
I didn't want to say
Michael,
that,
Hey, Michael, kiss my grits.
Oh no! Don't be kissing Eddie's grits.
No,
come on. It's a family show here. It's a family show. We can't be kissing grits here. Get out of here.
Going to tonight's game, let's talk about your defense. Your defense is good. Okay, I love your defense. Max Crosby's a nightmare no matter where he's at. He's just a man on a mission. I love how he is. His entire story, put it that way. What do you feel that the Raiders need to show up? Well, I don't want to say show up because they're going to show up, but what do you think they do to compensate this incredible Dallas Cowboy offense? Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson, Turpins, Javonte Williams. They got the ball, they got the weapons. Dak's playing MVP status this year, regardless of record. What do you do as the DC for the Raiders here? How do you compensate this kid? If you're in the locker room, what are you putting on the billboard for your team tonight?
Well, so the original plan this season was our front four getting pressure on the quarterback,
Right.
and that's going to help our secondary play soft zone, create mistakes, plays like that. It hasn't happened. The only person really getting consistent pressure has been Max. I mean, he's been awesome this year. Sack totals kind of down a little bit, 5 sacks this year only, but 13 tackles for losses, near the top of the league again. He's there every year for TFLs. And I basically he almost has as many tackles for loss by himself as the Cowboys defense, which surprised me. I knew Max was good. Then I started looking at stats. I was like, oh, that's it's pretty impressive. But they need to create pressure to help that secondary out. I feel like the last few weeks they've done that a little bit better. They haven't been getting to the quarterback consistently enough where they're getting 3+ sacks, but against the Broncos 2 sacks. But again, they had Bo Nix running around in the pocket, throwing across his body, making mistakes. He threw a couple interceptions. Kai Blue Kelly, who's been just awful this season, getting a couple picks there against the Broncos. Maybe that's a little bit of a confidence boost. Darian Porter, the rookie, he's been getting out on the field a lot more. So he's getting better week in and week out. And then Eric Stokes, that's been our big bright spot so far. He was an offseason acquisition from I think he was with the Packers last year. He's a first round pick by the Packers. I think he might have been with Carolina previously. I'm not sure, but he was a first round pick by the Packers, and he's been the bright spot. No interceptions for him this year, but he's been solid. He's been solid out on the outside. Pull him out at safety. He's been hot and cold. So I think it's going to come down to pressure, getting pressure on Dak, and that comes down to Cowboys offensive line. What does your offensive line look like? I know there's been injuries across the offensive line, some question marks, but it seems like they've held up pretty good so far this season. Dak, 15 sacks. That's like I mentioned you guys off air. The Cowboys, top 5 in fewest sacks allowed per game. I mean, that has to be for something, right? So your offensive line. How does your offensive line plan to slow down Max Crosby, Adam Butler? Malcolm Kuntz, once in a while he gets some pressure out there. Tyree Wilson, once in a while he shows up. But James Snowden last week, or Charles Snowden last week, he looked awesome. So how does the Cowboys offensive line compare to the Raiders defense? How are they going to slow down that rush from Max Crosby?
Well, I mean, going into the season, Ken, it was a mismatch offensive line. 4 new starters in second year or less playing out of position here. To me, that was a big thing. But getting Connor from Kansas State, he's a guru for the offensive line. But I think this Dallas Cowboy offensive line, you said it. Dak hasn't been touched really this year. He's been upright. He's been playing MVP ball. Stand in the pocket, picking your poison, looking downfield. But this offensive line, Ken, it has 5 starters all starting tonight. Tyler Smith, Guyton, BB is back tonight. BB's
back.
Yes, BB is back tonight. Booker, Terrence Steele. This is the starting 5 we looked at coming into the season. Finally healthy again. This is the first time all have played together. I think they can solidify it. Yes, Max Crosby scares me. He's going against. Now, here's the thing. Does Crosby switch his sides? We know that true, right? He switches.
He does occasionally, yes. Yeah.
I think he
moves around a lot.
Yeah, I think he ends up on the right side on Terrence Steele a lot more than Tyler Guyton tonight. But whatever side he is, Dallas Cowboys, you might take away Ferguson tonight. You might see Schoonmaker coming up, being a passing tight end. I think you have to chip because I'll tell you what, Crosby versus Javonte Williams coming in the backfield, it's over. He's going to light him up, and he's going to end up like, one of Aubrey's kicks 60 yards backfield. They have to chip him. But I think they do slow him down, Ken, because you take away Crosby, you take away this defense, number one.
Absolutely. He is the heartbeat of the defense, 100%. Yeah, you take him out, and nobody else is getting pressure, and Dak can just stand back there all day and get it to Pickens, get it to Lamb and stuff like that all day.
Eddie, what do you feel? I mean, you think this Cowboy offensive line can hold up?
Yes, I'm just glad that BB's back. No one sits Big B in the corner.
That's pretty good, Eddie. I like that.
I'm glad to have him back. I mean, it's finally the fighting starting, rotation that we have here is finally playing tonight, which is a good look. But, on defense, Ken, how does your secondary match up? Because pick your poison. Lamb, if he goes in a slot, he's going against your nickel. That's where he likes to be. And you go opposite side on the outside there. Kaibu Kelly, this is a different animal he's facing tonight, CeeDee Lamb. Then you go to the other side, it's Pickens. How do you slow that down? Because, you said, I call him Palomalo. I still love that name, that's the lower name. But he is not Troy. He's not Troy Palomalo. How do you slow this down? Because if Dallas gets to that second level, they can put safeties on an island by themselves too, Ken. How
Yeah.
do you slow that down too?
And like I just said, it's all going to come down to pressure. The secondary is so bad for the Raiders, and that's such the frustrating part of this season is the turnover from last year. Like everybody that we had in the secondary last season is gone. They're all gone, and it's not like they were a great defense last year, a great secondary last year, but there were some really good pieces there that signed in other places for not a whole lot of money. We had plenty of cap space to sign some of these guys, but we didn't. And,
Well, you guys were second. You guys were second in NFL in cap space going in, weren't you?
yeah, going into
Yeah.
the season, and
Yeah.
it's gave Gino a lot of money, and we still had a lot of money to spend, and that's it didn't make sense, but it is what it is. It's where we're at now. But I would imagine Eric Stokes is gonna try to shut down one of them guys. But like I said, the Raiders play such a soft zone that they could just pick them apart. They just pick them apart underneath. If the Raiders are able to get pressure on Dak, it's going to be on Dak, a very good veteran quarterback to get rid of the ball quick, and he will. And they're just going to pick them apart short, and that's going to lead to some long plays too, because short, then you go deep, short, then you go deep. It's basic, really, when you think about it. Paul Mao, who's I was very high on coming into the season, he's struggled at times. He's played well at times, so it's kind of tough to kind of gauge where he's at coming into this game. I said Kai Blue Kelly's been probably the worst defensive back that we've had so far this season. He's getting better. 2 interceptions last week, but still, is he at that level where he can go up against a CD Lamb or anything? No, he's not. It's going to be, it's all going to come down to the front four against the Dallas 5 or 6 and pressure. The linebackers, our linebacking core, Devin White, great tackler, can't cover anybody. So it's just coverage is going to be very bad. I'd expect Dak to have a lot of yards tonight.
Yeah, and
high completion percentage.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, you mentioned Devin White, great tackler, but not a great coverage guy, and is playing that strong side linebacker. Ferguson's, that's where he lives off of, that second level off the strong side linebacker. So I mean, if he gets to the second level coming out there, your corners are going to be, your safety's got to come down and help both wide receiver, cover both wide receivers too.
That's the one positive thing the Raiders did do this year was Jamal Adams moving him from safety to linebacker.
Yeah.
And he's done well in coverage. And he's done well on putting some blitzes, some coverages, and that's not a Raider thing. Is usually the blitz, but he's done it a little bit. He's been able to get to the backfield and stuff like that. But so watch for Jamal Adams to maybe kind of work on Ferguson a little bit, working a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage and going from there.
Yeah, I just want to see if that happens. I mean, it's great that he's doing that. He's a veteran out there. Bringing him in is a good pickup for them. I like how he is because he reminds me of like a Roy Wilson for us. A solid linebacker coming in the block that can hit and stick. Well, Roy couldn't stick anybody, but different story there. But I like that move. I just hope Dak can make the right read and get that hot route quick if the linebacker pursues. Turpin can slide out, Ferk can slide out, but. Ken, I asked you this. We've been doing shows for a while. Haven't been doing a show with you in a long time. I love Tommy Eichenberg. Where the hell is my guy Tommy at? We talked about him many times.
Special teams. He's a specialty teamer, I guess. It's and that's another thing that pisses me off is they drafted him. I don't know if it was like second or third round last year. Not this, back in 2024, and they really talked him up and talked about how great he was doing, and they said maybe a year away. Then you come into this season and you forget he's even on the team. It's really that's extremely frustrating. So I don't. He's on special teams. He's there. He plays in every game, but it's all special teams. I don't know why he can't get a scratch at a linebacker at all. Now is the time when you're 2-7.
Yeah.
Now is the time to get these young guys in to see what you have. And if Pete Carroll's going to continue being the coach next season, that's where I'm focused if I'm him. Him and the general manager, Spytek, that's what they should be doing. Getting these young guys in like a Tommy Eichenberg. Guys, Jack Besh, Thornton, Dante Thornton, guys like that should be out there a lot more now. What do we have going into next season? What do we need to change? What do we need to turn over?
Yep, 100%. I think it's evaluation. You're sitting where you're at, record-wise. It's evaluation for next year. Who am I keeping? Who's high profile? Gino, you're $40 million. We got a guy, Aiden O'Connell, who comes to work. We got Kenny Pickett on a low-time deal. We got a high draft pick. Maybe we go out. You're not worth it. But you're right. I mean, I just don't get it because I love him. Eddie, you remember Tommy Eichenberg, Ohio State. The kid's a lunch pail guy. He does anything for the team. You heard me talk about him before. I love the kid. I think it was a solid pickup for you guys, but I just don't know why they're not using him, especially this time right now when records are thrown out the window. But Ken, I want to ask you first, since you're outnumbered here. I'm gonna let you have the floor. What are the keys to tonight's game? I know you talked about pressure from the front four and getting a Dak. What are the keys to the game opposite than that for a Raiders victory tonight, Ken?
All right, so the keys for defensively, we just talked about the pressure from the front four and also tackling. Tackling is going to be such a huge thing. Keeping the guys in front of you, tackling. They did a great job, I thought, against Denver tackling. Tackling's been atrocious this season. Week 1 was fantastic against the Patriots. But then it went downhill after that. So last week against the Broncos, tackling was awesome. So continue tackling. Keep the Cowboys the third medium if you can. Pressure on Dak. Offensively, give Ashton Genty the goddamn ball. Throw Brock Bowers the ball. Get the young guys in more. I don't need to see Tyler freaking Lockett. I don't need to see him. Now, if he gets the ball 2-3 times, I'm fine with that to help kind of get a first down or whatever. I want to see Jack Besh get more than one target. I want to see Deontay Thornton get more than one target. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. Chip Kelly, the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. What the F are we doing here? Get the ball to the young guys. I want to see the young guys, and not to get too far out of whack, out of this. But last week we seen Geno go down against the Broncos. He was out a play or two. Maybe put Kenny Pickett in. Why the hell would you let Geno Smith go back out there after being sacked 6 freaking times and he hurt his leg, and then you let Geno Smith go back out there? Well, he's a warrior. No, he's not. He's an idiot. He's trying to protect his spot. He's not a warrior. He's like, shit, if I don't get signed next year, I'm losing $18 million in a signing bonus or guaranteed money, $18 million in guaranteed money. I need to get back out there. Yeah. Put Kenny Pickett in. He's more mobile. Nobody's going to say he's more accurate or a better passer, but he's more mobile. Let Kenny Pickett run around a little bit, all right? But those are my keys to victory. Get the ball to the young guys. Let Genty run. I want to see Genty between 20 and 25 carries. Get the ball to Bowers, Besh, Thornton, Trey Tucker. For the love of Christ, get Trey Tucker the ball. He's your number one. Please, for the love of God. Guys, what do you guys got for keys to victory?
Eddie, what's your keys to victory tonight for not the Raiders, our Cowboys?
Yeah. I think limit Brock Bowers into just having a okay game and not a great game, which we saw he's capable in his first game back a couple weeks ago. Do a good job in containing Genty and make Geno Smith throw a lot of INTs.
Okay, I agree. I agree 100% with both of you. Actually, to me, the only thing I'm worried about with the Dallas Cowboys, if they use Deontay Thornton out there, they use Betch, they're flyers. They can get downfield. I'm going to test Ravel. I'm going to test, our Elam. I'm going to test those corners to see what they're made of. If it's a decoy, run them. Make them beat you, because you take away Pickens, you take away Lamb, you're not going to do it. Williams can play ball. But what I'm scared about is this Dallas Cowboy linebacking core. Their speed, but they're not fundamentally sound. A lot of missed tackles. They don't take the proper angles. Eddie, we've talked about it. Angles. Look at Sanborn, wrong angle. He's out, of course. Kenneth Murray's a speed guy. Overshawn, play count. He's not going to be starting. He starts, but he's on a play count tonight, snap count. We don't know what he is. Our backup, Shamar James, is a rookie. He's a signal caller tonight. A little bit different for him, moving into the starting lineup. I feel Dallas comes out, controls the offensive line. I think they don't abandon the run game, because you open the run game up, it opens up Lamb and Pickens downfield, and that's the nightmare for the Raiders secondary right there. But I feel it's a Dallas Cowboy win. Let's go around the room and give our final scores. Eddie, I'll start with you. What's the final score for tonight's game?
31-13, Dallas.
31-13. Now the line is 3.5. Wow. Okay. Ken, what is your line for tonight's game?
I like the Raiders, 30-27. There we go. Raiders. There we go. Homie. I'm a homeboy. I'm a homer.
Ken.
I'm a homer.
You are a homer on that one, Ken. But hey, listen, I picked the Dallas Cowboys 2 times this year with a banged up secondary going against the Bears. They get rocked by 30. They go to Carolina. They get rocked by Carolina. So I don't know, but
you take the Cowboys then. I like the way you pick, Paul. You take the Cowboys then.
No, but I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm actually taking the Cowboys. Yes, I am, Ken. I'm gonna go blowout here, because I think right the ship here. I feel it. I feel this coming into next week's game against the Eagles. I think this is on paper, you have to plug in what you're going to do for next week. Get better, get better, get better. Secondary should be better. I'm going to go Cowboys in a blowout here, Ken. I'm looking 41-22 tonight. 41-22. Yeah, I feel it. But Ken, I want to ask you something real quick. I don't know what this is about because they need some energy drinks out there tonight, Ken. Both teams that sitting where we are. What is this about?
W energy drink, the jitterless energy drink. You need a jitterless energy drink, right? You need it in your life. You want those jitters when you drink your Monster or your Red Bulls or whatever the hell else you're drinking for energy out there, coffee or espresso lattes. Check out W Energy Drink at www.w.gg. That's hard to say. Use my promo code, the Batcave, for 10% off your order. It's a powder, comes in powder form. You mix it with 16 ounces of water, or whatever tastes good to you. I like to water mine down a little bit. That's, goes for any kind of mixed drink that I like Kool-Aid or whatever. I like to water it down a little bit. That's me. But anyway, check them out. All different varieties, flavors, and whatnot. Some pretty cool swag as well. So use my promo code, the Batcave, for 10% off your order at W Energy Drink at www.w.gg. So hard to say. It really frustrates me. But yeah, check them out. W Energy Drink. Very good stuff.
And also, Ken, since you're on the spot here, what are these about? I know you do some great shows over here on Out of the Box. What is this about? You're still talking Raiders, right?
I'm still talking Raiders. I wanted to get on this morning, but Paul, like I said to you off the air, I cannot stay awake for the life of me. I don't know what's going on. I used to be the kind of guy that'd be awake till noon. I just couldn't sleep, but now I can't stay awake. So I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, so I do a Raiders. I'm going to try to go live again tomorrow morning, do a post show. We'll see what happens. But I also talk New York Mets, the LA Kings. I haven't been able to get on yet for the Kings. Just life is killing me, Paul. Life is killing me. But I plan on it. It's a plan. And guys, I apologize to all my Bat Fry fans out there. I know there's one or two of you out there. I apologize for my lack of screen time, but I'm out there and I'm trying to come back. It's been extremely difficult for me. And I don't want to put out a shit show or anything like that. I want to put out something that's respectable, at least. And yeah. So, guys, what do you guys got going on?
Well, you know what, Ken? I'm on the same boat as you. Before me, we've talked all the time. I don't sleep at all. But I tell you what, I think you falling asleep now has really hit me because I've been sleeping a lot too. I don't know how I'm sleeping so much. I sleep at nighttime. Doing a lot of things now. So I've been off air a lot too. But I'll let Eddie talk about, what's going on Wednesday, but I know Friday we'll be back talking college football frenzy. A lot of upsets last week, huge games out there. And I'm very sorry, Ken, that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish put a shellacking on your Pittsburgh Panthers. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that, Ken. But yeah, we'll be back college football frenzy this week, Friday at 7 p.m. Eddie and I are talking about that. Of course, Eddie, what do you got going on?
It wasn't just a slacking. It was Notre Dame's defense that slacked. Was a big reason why they put the slacking on him. The defense and love. On Wednesday, me and Paul's gonna be back on Wednesday to do our Cowboy Weekly show. Hopefully that we're a happy Cowboy fan on Wednesday.
Ken, you know what? Yeah, Chip Kelly needs to go watch back that Pitt game where Jeremiah Love did too. That the Pitt Panthers.
Yeah.
He has Jonte, so he needs to go back and look at some of those films. But guys, it was a great time tonight. Ken, glad to be back on air with you. It's been so long, man. Reminds me of our first time ever. What 35 years ago when we did the first podcast together?
35. The last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, yeah.
Oh, that would be 30, Ken. That's 30. That's
30 years ago. That's when we started 30 years ago. Back before the interweb.
Exactly. Interweb. What's that? Yeah, we don't know what the hell that is. But, guys, this has been Monday Night Football Preview. My name is Paul. That is Ken. That is Eddie. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Ken, since you're outranked here, I'll let you give the final word, and I want to hear you say it. I love how you say it. Let's go something. I don't know what the hell it is, but I just love that tone of voice when you say it. Hope it doesn't happen, but Ken, the floor is yours to take us out of here, brother.
All right. Thank everybody for checking the show out. We appreciate it very much. And finally, the final words here. Just win, baby. See you guys later.
Getting strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet unfold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play. We see the game in the whole feels alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats.